What's up? What's up? Back again with that good old reality check. We definitely bring you that real about a hot topic known as in love with lies. Yeah, can you face the truth? I want to know. Or you just love that lie too much to let that real go. Vibe with me. That's how we used to do in the 90s. Like, hit switches and shit. Nigga might hit that switch on you. Boy, y'all don't know nothing about that, boy. Got too young. You hear me? Yeah. But we back into that in love with lies. And it's your boy King Haru with my most beautiful, lovely wife,
Nita Buns.
Yes, we back with this hot topic that's known as in love with them lies, man. Come on, man. We got something to talk about, people. You know, how much do y'all love them lies, man? You know, I'm just gonna do the introductory on this real smooth. You know, man, why do y'all love them lies so much, man? We got to start living in the truth. You know, when I construct, falling in love with these lies, it's like people are actually living out here with and believing in things that they know for a guarantee is not true. You know, I feel like something is wrong with that when people know something is not true. Like, I'm not saying nothing about your personal beliefs or anything like that. I'm saying, but when you know something is not true and you still follow it, that's the weird concept that seems to have everybody right now. But the thing about it is that the lie that y'all choose to tell yourself to live, you know, it done became bigger than reality. You know, that's weird. And that's scary because we're talking about grown adults, people with children and things like that. That should be a warning on some people. Like, you know, this is not reality when you got a whole bunch of people that's just following things that are not true. Things that they know that's not true, and you're grown, you're an adult. You should be able to decipher what's real and what's not, and not stick with a narrative just to fit in with somebody or, follow a congregation. You know what I'm saying? If something is not true, we got to go ahead and go on with the positive, go on with the real. You hear what I'm saying? But can you bring us into our first subject on this, baby?
Well, all that is correct what you said, but a lot of people lie so much to where they believe the lie that they're telling is the truth. Believe it's the honest God truth.
Yeah.
Stand around just lying for no reason, and they believe the lies so they can sleep at night. But this is something I have for some of these women that's just lying and lying and lying and won't stop lying. Run around here saying that the man is your kid's father. Now, we so good at blaming the man about what he's not doing, and he's this and he's that. And you're not even a woman yourself. You won't tell the children, you won't tell that man that you're claiming the father, that he is not the father. He's a good man, and you want to stick it to him because you done lay down and mess around with a buster, and you know this guy's not finna do what he should do and provide for you, so you went out and messed around on him.
Yeah.
And some of y'all are not good mothers either. Some of y'all are not good mothers, but you're saying you are, and that's a lie. Loving the lie you telling. You got all these different men coming to the house at night in front of your children, and telling your daughters you don't need a man, and they look around and you're 7 months pregnant. Well, what happened?
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying you don't need a man. Now, what is that doing to the child? What are they thinking then? She's saying I don't need a man, but you doing something with a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Obvious.
It's crazy.
Obvious.
Crazy. What you got to say about that?
Man, when you dating these men, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is women, it ain't never that serious to go and put yourself in danger. Meeting men offline, a lot of these dating apps and things like that, because we're on this quarantine. I know that's finna go and get the jump. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying be careful, because it's several stories out here of meeting someone online and they dangerous. You know what I'm saying? They done murdered these women and things like that. So you got to be careful and protect your children at the end of the day. um, the whole format of dating and things like that that's going on in this field, it's so much hypocrisy in it that I don't know where to start and where to end. I have been around in the hood, you know what I'm saying, and in, middle class areas. And the thing was always the construction of a woman has been based on always what a man is. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's hypocrisy, because I'm not going to teach my daughters, like, go out here and dude gotta have a car, dude gotta have all this, gotta have this, gotta have a good job, gotta, you know what I'm saying? A woman can get a man with all those characteristics and he still won't love her, still won't treat her well, still will disrespect her. But the whole format on what she need to find in a man is a lie. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about how does a man being successful mean he's going to value you as a woman, that he's going to love you, that he's going to cherish you, he's going to be a father. Do not understand how what he has in his wallet is going to make that true. That's a lie. That's a lie. These are the lies that's told in these relationships, and it messes up the whole psychology of how things are supposed to go with a man and a woman. Because everybody is like all over the place. Like, oh man, a woman supposed to be this and be this and be this, and a man supposed to be this, be this, and be this. And you can get everything on your list and it can still end up being trash. You know what I'm saying? Because these are only lies that have been getting told generations after generation after generation. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a real format. Just because a man drives a Benz does not mean you're supposed to marry him and he's going to be a good man. This is not Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? Y'all caught up on that, what they done preached for so long. If you look at the cartoons and things, a woman can get anything on her own. This is the reality of it. A woman can get anything on her own. Now, you're a better team when you got a man that loves you and everything like that, but I'm saying don't ever get it twisted. The reality of it is that you can't get it on your own. You do not need a man to pay your bills. You can be a self-sufficient woman, and you can pay your own bills. And all them women can be like, "Boy, I done robbed this nigga. He done hit them wallets. That nigga spending all his wife's money on." That ain't gonna mean nothing at the end of the day. He ain't finna be with you. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? So that whole format has been a lie, and it's time for us to move on from it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring me to my next subject, since we're talking about the children, is the education field. And there's a lot of stuff that has went on in education that has been a complete lie. And what's more disturbing to me is that a lot of us parents know these things are true, but we don't put any fight for it because we got too much on our plate. And that's understandable. But I'm saying it's got to be some kind of point when we're out here saying we care about our kids' education, but we know that they're teaching these children lies in the school, and this is something we accept. And we don't come together as parents to say maybe they need to change curriculum, maybe they need to do something that's going to benefit our children more when it comes to the school platform. So when you think about education, you'll think we're sending our kids there and they're getting the best education they can possibly get. You know what I'm saying? That's what we would assume. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, as an adult, Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Facts. Now, as an adult, if you don't know, please, parents, stop right now. Go look this up. It's Google everything. You don't even have to hit the library. It's all over every kind of high educational place. You go to Yale, you can go to Harvard, you go anywhere. They got this as a truth, okay? The best schools in the world, they saying that Christopher Columbus did not discover America. We know that, and we let them continue to teach us and teach our kids this crap every year. You feel me? Every year. Every year. Now, since we know these things are lies, why we're not going down and trying to get the curriculum updated? We let our kids keep drawing pictures of Christopher Columbus every year. We know that's a lie. Okay? Another lie they tell in the educational platform It's Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves. The entire slavery, he did not. The Missouri Compromise was only for the slaves north to the Missouri. So every slave that was above the Missouri Compromise, well, they were still slaves. That's why we had to fight the Civil War, so slavery can end in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we wasn't free from slavery until 19 years after Abraham Lincoln died. Facts. He was in the ground. He wasn't even alive. And people want to say, well, he started it. Well, he didn't complete. He didn't free us. Okay? So he was actually talking bad about us. So, but we are, as African Americans, we are presented to uplift Abraham Lincoln and let our kids uplift someone that really didn't care about them too much. You know, he did it for a political move. This is all documented. Facts. If you can prove me wrong, come back. Look up how Abraham Lincoln talked about us as a people. Don't come to me with that. You know, that was all some humbug. We was all preached to and we believed it. Now, with that information, if you studied and you researched and found out Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves, he didn't think too well of black people, we would want the curriculum changed, you would think. But it's a lot of African American people that know this and we don't do anything. So we're in love with the lies and we keep on letting these things get taught to our children. You know, my daughter came home and she told me, oh, Mom and Dad, we learned about Christopher Columbus. And I got to drop them facts on her. I had to drop them facts on her. Listen, that ain't going on in my house. Miseducation doesn't go on in my house. So they going to get hit with the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to see if they going to be in love with them lies too. But I'm like, that ain't the truth. You know what I'm saying? History in school is basically giving us only about 2,000 years of history. Listen, that's only 2,000 years of history. This earth is millions of years old. You don't believe it? They got the artists that they found in Africa, in the Congo. The artist is 3 million years old. It's the oldest, most ancient findings of a human remains. 3 million years old. They estimated that was. So basically, life started in Africa 3 million years ago, proven by science. You know what I'm saying? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. These are facts. That humanity started in Africa. Okay, we can argue about that all day, but they're gonna disrespect so many Asian cultures. A lot of these people had culture existing prior to 2,000 years ago. So how would you just do placement just on one on 2,000 years? Like, we're missing so much of history. This is facts. Are we going to accept the lies like only 2,000 years when we were slaves and all that? That's what they're teaching our children. We're missing so much of history. Your kids are not even learning anything. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to history, they're getting butchered with it. We only got slavery, the civil rights movement. All we talking about is when black people was coming up out of depression and oppression and golly, like they don't even teach you about Tulsa, Oklahoma, things that happened in those time frames. They skip over all of that. You know, teach you very little about the black people after slavery, how they did Reconstruction, how they owned businesses. They skip over a lot of that. They give you short edits of everything and miss a lot of the highlights of the era because it's undeniable that the school system is not teaching the kids any kind of curriculum. But we know that. I hear parents say that them kids ain't learning nothing in school, you know what I'm saying? But we're not trying to battle the people that control what your kids learn. We're not trying to go to the board and say, listen, these things are incorrect. Because we have fell in love with the lies. You heard what I'm saying? That they got the best interest for your child. And that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Do you have anything you can throw on education, baby?
Well, I think a lot of us have been taught, to go out and live that American dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're taught to go to high school, you get your diploma, and then you further your education going to college. Well, it's a lot of jobs out here where you don't even really need a college education. They're making more than college graduates.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't agree with it. I think that's a lie being told. I mean, we know several people that didn't go to college and they are making pretty good money. But with the state of the economy now with this quarantine and all this kind of stuff, it's kind of like, what is it doing to those people right now? You don't went to college, you don't went to all these years of school, and some of them have been laid off. And you don't even know what state they're going to be in, what state mentally they're going to be in, how long is this going to last? Is this just going to be thrown down the drain now? I mean, you got to agree, we all been taught the American dream. You go do this and you'll have a good career, and you do that. Now look at that.
Yeah.
You only got, you got these essential jobs, but I'm saying it's different careers in the college, education. And some of these people, they don't even know how they're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to do something. That's got to do something to you. You have done everything right, stacked all your chips in a row, and do what they say do, which that's the American dream. You follow the rules, and you do what they expect of you in society. But to me, so that's like a lie, really. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't care.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that you learn in school, some of the stuff you won't even use. You won't even need.
Yeah.
I think they need to stick with what you're going to really need. You do need mathematics, but break it down to the mathematics that you're really going to need. Break it down to the science that you're really going to need.
Facts.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Facts.
But all that stuff is fairy tale, and it's like you get older, you start to see. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of stuff that you have been taught, it's been lies, and we have believed this stuff over the years because that's all that's been beaten to our head.
Yeah.
That you do this way, you do this like that, and it's sad now. It's like we pretty much got to pick up the pieces with everything.
Yeah. And try to maintain
the lies.
Yeah, and try to maintain. Hey, it done got to a point like if you're not following the lies, like you might have some people mad at you. Like boy, when we decided not to involve ourselves in Christmas anymore, and that's our God-given right. If you say, "Oh, that's crazy, y'all should be celebrating Christmas," okay, you can have your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying how we run our household is that we celebrate Kwanzaa, and that gets black people in an uproar. Like when you don't celebrate Christmas, I'm like, God damn, we have an opinion to do whatever the hell we want to do because ain't nobody taking care of us. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what's all the anger for. It's a lot of anger. Like people are really angry, like when you don't go along with their lies and everything like that, and like the whole world can look at you like crazy, and that's crazy. It's like we're like sheeple in a way. That's what they said. Like we pretty much just follow the scheme of things, no questions asked, and like we just roll with it. But I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? If I get out and see you and it just so happens to be a holiday, then that's just a coincidence. But I'm not finna need all of this just so I can be, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of scheme of things and let people like kind of you don't do what we doing and kind of bully you into like you're gonna follow some program or process that they got going. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, the minute you step outside of that box, it's like you done committed a crime.
Yeah,
they can't even get with it. They cannot get with people actually using their brain, and we talk about this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Using your brain to know that this is fairy tale, and you know what I'm saying, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And they feel like you're trying to upscale them or something.
Yeah, or trying to make some format to make them feel inferior. But I don't get that. I don't get it.
God-given right
to be whatever you want to be. Yeah. And I'm talking about this so-called American right too, to be able to choose your freedom of religion, freedom of assembly. This is your rights for being an American citizen. I don't know, that makes people angry. When you follow your God-given rights by the Bill of Rights, you know what I'm saying? They give you the right to do that. Freedom of press, like we doing freedom of press right now. We get this is all our constitutional right to do this. So I don't understand why people would be angry at your rights. You know what I'm saying? That's how this world is turning. Okay, and that brings me into, since we're talking about rights, we're gonna get into something about systematical racism. This is filled with so many lies that you know what I'm saying, it's wild. Okay, when we were just talking about the educational process and all of the things that are fibs and lies about it. Now I'm going to give you guys another truth that they have shut down, I believe, in the last 5 years, over 156 schools in African American and Latino communities. Okay, they're pulling all of the funding for the schools out. And this is only towards the African American community, which they say are lacking in test scores, lacking in grade point average, and attendance. But we all have to realize that even the Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, taught that these children are not growing up in what you would call stable homes. A lot of these children who are dropping out in teen pregnancy and things like that, they're not growing up in a good environment. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these kids don't see school as a way out. And that's why a lot of these kids don't make it in the urban community. I have seen this many times when I was going to, Crane High School in Chicago. The principal, Mr. Scott, I don't know if he's still alive and everything, but he had an assembly with us, and he was like, we were freshmen, and he was like, it's 400 or 500 freshmen. He said, it'll be lucky if 100 of y'all graduate. I see 100 of y'all by the time y'all make it to seniors. And that was true. It's just a harsh reality that the environment we're living in with gangs and murder and things like that, especially in Chicago, like we're dealing with kids that, it's not safe sometimes to go to school. They're worried about gangs. It's a whole bunch of things you can put in the platform of why these test scores are so low and these kids are dropping out. When you come to the urban community, that's a different standard. You know what I'm saying? That this is not suburban kids or the police and everybody knows their dad and everybody's lawn is mowed and everybody goes to church together. This is not those kind of settings. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect the same thing out of every setting, especially if the environment is quite different. But since of that, they choose to shut all of these schools down, and we're talking about these children going to have no form of education. I mean, it's not even a concern. This is just the truth. This is just the truth. You can look this up. I actually posted on my Facebook some of these percentages and averages on how they're going to close these schools down specifically towards the black community. Also associated with systematical racism is the judicial system. And we have what we call maximum charges for nonviolent crimes on African American males. We have all of these things that are just highlighted on African American males and Latino males when it comes to small weed charges and everything. These guys can end up getting 5 or 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they got priors, it can be 15. These things are a maximum charge, for petty crimes, and this causes mass incarceration, which Bill Clinton signed in about 95, I believe. That's when he signed that bill for mass incarceration. That means he signed a bill to overcharge people and over-sentence people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes these cops is planning stuff on these brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the systematic of racism continues. And this is just the truth that we hate to deal with, especially when it comes to the black community, on how systematical racism exists. We fell in love with the lie that if you do everything you're supposed to do, the cops is not going to mess with you. Well, we done saw videos proving that that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, you've seen it. All you can do is pray. And, hopefully a cop ain't on his bad day. I mean, I'm just being real. But we'll paint a narrative that if your son is doing the right thing, that this never happened to him. A lot of parents do this too. They're not going to be caught up in the situation, but a lot of parents thought that. And we know what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the systematical racism that is going on with our people, and we're choosing to love a lie. Some of us think this racism doesn't exist. We choose to live a lie. We don't want to deal with the struggles and the pain that we done had with the racist system that we are living in. We still living in it. We don't want to deal with the structure that has destroyed us. You know what I'm saying? It has destroyed us as a people, and we're fighting to even keep our head above water. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these subjects. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And anything you want to talk about systematic racism? Any personal experiences?
Well, I'm sad to say that it's a few of our brothers down here in this state have been found dead. And it's all dealing with, the police. And a lot of people know that the police have actually, was allegedly that the police have done it, but I feel that they have done it because a couple of them had court dates where they were going to have to testify against him, and all of a sudden they end up missing. And then they found them dead because the police lied on one of the boys. Young boy just graduated high school last year, and he stopped him and interrogated him, and the boy was scared, and so he took off running. And so he shot the boy, but the boy didn't die. So, which means he can testify. His family went and got a lawyer and all that, and I guess he got wind of that. And just so happened, like 3 days before his court date, trial date, or whatever like that, he ends up dead. So I'm saying, like, we talk about these issues in the black community about the police is doing this, and hands up, don't shoot. But we don't stand in those lines to make things happen like they stand in line for Jordans. We don't have the same energy with that. We talk about it, but we don't put any action or work in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Because a lot of people are scared when it comes to them. They're scared to move. But I'm like, if we really care about it, we want something done, we need to start coming together on that. And even if we are scared. Yeah. We need to learn to start binding together when it comes to stuff like that. This is serious. Because I would hate for it to be somebody I went to school with child. I mean, this stuff is happening all the time. And it's happening since this little quarantine thing is happening. It sounds like it's happening back to back. It's like 3 or 4 guys. But that's the story I really know of. But they have been, first they come up missing. The families all over the social media saying, if you've seen them, and they got video footage of their last whereabouts, then they end up dead. Out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know one for sure, but I heard another guy's the same dealing with him too. The cop had his body. He didn't have a body cam on, but they were going to testify, and all of a sudden they just come up dead. And, we so good at saying RIP this and that, and then we go on about our lives, but I'm saying, shit, our lives matter too. Yeah. We say Black Lives Matter, but I don't think a lot of us care if it matters until it happens to you. Right. Then you want someone to stand in your corner, and you want someone to be behind you then. Yeah. Come to these old meetings. And like you said, there's a lot of these meetings going on, and I bet you not one black person showed up. We done been to a couple of them. Yeah. the neighborhood meetings and things like that, so you can know what's going on. Also, this thing with the census, everybody's talking about filling those out. Yeah. And they say that they talking about they're supposed to help in your community. I think I filled out one some years ago, and I didn't see where it changed anything. It's like when you're in the urban community, they don't care about anything. Nah. I done seen where they got sofas and stuff sitting on somebody's lawn, and they got them sitting for them to pick it up. They won't even come pick it up because they don't live in these areas. They don't care about it. Nah. So you look at a lot of these urban communities. Look how some of us keep our community. Trash is everywhere. It's almost you're living there, but you don't care about your community because you're trashing the place and you don't even think to pick it up. But then you want someone to do something for you. Yeah. Shoot, you go in some of these other neighborhoods, they don't look like that. Nah. Somebody is picking it up. It's not just the city doing it. It's somebody taking care of it. They're taking care of their lawns. They're making sure the trash is picked up. But a lot of us don't even care about where we live. What kind of mentality is that? You want people to take us serious. And they laughing at us when it comes to this. I know it's racism and things like that, but sometimes we be playing our own self. We play ourselves into this crap. Yeah. Yeah, we done did. Kind of get tired of that kind of stuff, man. Yeah. We want a lot of stuff, but we don't want to put the work in when it comes to stuff like this, where you actually got to use your brain and learn how to talk properly. Things like that. We don't want to do that. We'll run away from that. But when it's some like nigger-righted stuff or Negro-pean stuff, we all for it. Yeah. We're trying to get our kids up out of some of this stuff. It's just, these kids are growing up, but they want to follow, and you know what I'm saying? And you can tell some of these kids are not getting the proper training, the proper education. And just like you said, some of these parents don't even care. Nah. And another thing, too, is, with this stuff going on, I kind of feel sorry for a lot of these children because I know school is a safe haven for a lot of these kids. You know what I'm saying? It's the only time they can get breakfast, lunch, and even a snack. We all know in an urban community, some kids are not even eating. You know what I'm saying? But you'll look at their parents and they got the latest kicks on and they are fly. But somehow their child's education is not important. And it's very, very sad. Because now it's going to have to be a lot of homeschooling. And do you think they're going to homeschool their children? But you're going to stand in line and beg the white man that he should do this and that. And I'm not saying that they should close these schools down. I don't think they should. But it's like, look at the image. And then look at the neighbors. See, they have that weapon to use against you when you're not taking your child's education serious.
Yeah.
They're going to use that against you. Now they're going to try to close all them schools. Now, I know it's some kids, it's some real smart kids that come from the hood. But it's like a couple of apples spoil a bunch for everybody.
Every time.
And I'm just dying to see are the parents going to really fight for this. This is something they should be fighting for.
Yeah.
It's teachers fighting, but I'm saying, where are the parents in the urban community? Haven't seen that. But remember when they was talking about cutting them folks' food stamps out? And that line was standing out there long?
Yeah.
The line was long as I'll get out for some food stamps.
Yeah, for some food
They ain't not finna, they're not finna have that same energy when it comes to closing these schools down.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just prove the point of why they do it.
Yeah.
Because they're using all the statistics on y'all against you. Saying the teen pregnancies. See?
Yeah, they're
using your stuff against you.
Yeah, they're using the things we glorify all day on World Star, all of this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They using these things against us.
Right.
Because they can just say, okay, I can tell y'all why they don't need to get no funding. And they can turn on YouTube and let them see fight after fight at school, people beating up teachers, bullying substitute teachers. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I said I take my hats off to all teachers now. If kids are like what I've been seeing online, I gotta salute you for even keeping your composure. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just appalled.
I mean, I done seen teachers get beat down. I done saw teachers really had to, stand up and battle for theirs. Like the educational field is.
We were just talking about that earlier today. Like I don't.
It's in the
worst
worst state I've ever known.
My head goes off to them because I don't know how they deal with some of the stuff, and then I see why sometimes it's a lack thereof of even probably wanting to be a teacher. Like you said, look at this stuff they do, and then you go hitting one of them kids back after they didn't put their hands on you, you lose your job.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. These children are something new. And I'm not trying to put down the young generation, but it's clearly they're doing things that we wouldn't do. I done seen, and I'm saying I'm using this on the bracket of how they view us because we want to post everything, and I don't think everything is in need of post. And that's a reality too.
Yes.
So how you discipline your child, things of this nature. I don't think you have to show the world how you discipline your child. Because, like, everybody doesn't agree with you whooping a child with a belt. Everybody probably don't agree with you whooping your daughter for walking in on her and making a twerk video. A lot of people don't agree with you whooping your child for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say keep that in the privacy of your home.
Like that woman there was whooping her son in front of them teachers. They called her about the boy being a disciplinary problem. Yeah. And she was furious. I guess she had to come from work or something. I don't know. But she was furious, and she was getting on to her son in front of them teachers. And then right after that, they ended up calling the police, and she got arrested.
Yeah. And the boy got arrested. Temporary state custody.
And like you said, they want to play you on your emotions. And that's racism.
Yeah.
But, we got to learn how to
control
move differently. Control your emotions in front of them. Because they're going to play that against you. Because they're the ones called her and felt like he was a disciplinary problem. They wanted her to solve it. And the minute she did that, they, called the police. But a lot of us feel like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to show, well, I'm not going like this. And
in front of the teachers.
But a lot of I've heard teachers, I used to work for a school district, and I've heard teachers say this, see, why you thinking that you can show, well, I'm not going to take that mess, for my kid. I got to rah-rah this in front of the teacher. And they feel like that's the problem with some of you parents now is that you're beating your kids too much. And that's what's got them having a behavior problem. And they're angry all the time. That's what the teachers were sitting around saying. But a lot of us parents wouldn't agree with that. But that's what they were saying. And I was like, wow,
Well, I can say this: the whoopings done slowed up this generation parents, done took other routes. Like some parents don't spank their children. Some parents be like, I'm gonna go on ahead and take away their gifts or stuff like that. Hats off to parents that do that.
But and
yikes, because these kids now, boy, they killing their parents, bro. They're shooting up schools on an average basis now. Like they used to be something like we used to be like, man, wow, that actually happened. Like Columbine, like when I was little, things like that happened. I used to be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. But that's a regular thing now. That's like a kid bringing a gun to school. That's normal. That's not even mainstream news anymore. That might not even, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy to actually think about. This is the reality, y'all. So how these children are turning out, and it seems like when the psychology of everything was pushed in, it seems like it does slow the discipline down, and a lot of these kids are out of control. Man, we saw that Chuck E. Cheese video earlier.
Oh my God!
Man, wow! If y'all ain't seen that Chuck E. Cheese video, please watch it. That's a young boy, but he was out of control.
And they couldn't even find his parents.
No.
It's like he was there, like his parents may have dropped him off, or his mom dropped him off, or she was in there and she just didn't care. Yeah. He didn't have no respect.
Spitting on people. I'm talking about cursing at adults.
Someone said something to him, he showed his anger, and stealing people's game and all kind of stuff.
Yeah. These are the kind of things that go on when
in these schools.
In these schools, and things are going just by. These kids are just getting worse and worse. And this is what they use when it comes to the educational process, when we cannot no longer, direct our own children. Like, we can talk about how bad things. We was talking about this the other day. We talked about how the older school people seem like they got a lot more things done. I'm just saying, like, education was like a must growing up back in the day. Like, you was not about to be walking around anywhere not having no high school diploma, trying to go to college or something. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't finna be just
and they got results.
Yeah, so like that kind of disappeared or something like that. I don't understand what was going on with this. The educational background with the parents have kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened, but it's like back in the day, parents was on school. Like a lot of kids was, a lot of these like Tuskegee, Alabama, all of these historical black colleges, they was able to prosper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They became historical monuments. You hear what I'm saying? They can never be knocked down. Right. Because we were sending our kids to college. Even though that's a whole nother different story, with college. But, but we was able to say that we had education as a superior thing in the household at one time, and that has kind of disappeared. I think in this generation, people are more about their kids being stars. These are facts too. Just throw that out there. They're more concerned with their children being stars, and that takes away from your child being normal. I'm just being real. We have looked at a lot of Disney kids and all this. It's been some tragic stories. I'm saying that they are. Michael Jackson is one of the tragic stories too to me. He even said it in his music, so I'm not. That's not something I'm making up. He made a song. Have you seen my childhood? And he's like, basically like he didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? But that's what everybody want their kids. That's what they want their kids to be, and I think they get treated more like a star than a child. And I think that kind of messes with their psychology with everything. Because, you look at Brandy, people like this say like, oh, you know what I'm saying? My mom was always just a manager, not a mom. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them kids grow up messed up. But the educational format is basically the most systematic of racism, I think, out of the whole thing. Damn, you don't need to know about your own damn history.
Yeah, and then, at our children's school, we can count on our finger how many parents show up to the awards assemblies, parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah.
It's sad. They'll even have a visit day where parents just come drop in and see how their kid is doing. And a lot of times we're the only parents there.
Yeah.
Now, I know some people are working and things like that, but that's not everybody's excuse.
Nah.
And we know that in the urban community, that is not everybody's excuse.
I think they said over 500 parents. Was that the school, I think? That's what the lady told
and
me.
you can count on your hand, on one hand, not two hands, one hand, how many parents are showing.
Man, it's crazy.
It's sad. It is sad. The
Crazy.
kids don't have support. You're not, congratulating your children, not telling them you're proud of them. You ain't showing up to their games. These kids feel this kind of stuff, and then why you think the energy comes off from them in the way that it does?
Yeah.
It ain't nothing but a crowd that they need, affection.
Yeah.
And they're not getting a lot of that at home. And like we keep saying, they're using that against us.
Yes.
They're using it against
us.
They pay attention. They pay attention to psychology.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
The statistics are out there too about, urban community, what their grades, they separated. The grades, like you said, the African American community's grades, the Caucasian grade, the Hispanic, they got it all separated. Poverty, and this is the kind of test scores they got. This is the grade they got in math. All this kind of stuff. You can look it up. Whatever school your child goes to, you can look all that up. I forgot the website. If I remember it, I'll bring it back. Yeah. But it might be greatschools.com or something like that. Yeah. You put the state in and what school it is, and you can look at the results. Test scores, SAT, or whatever, all these tests that they give them. You can look at all the statistics on there. And let's just say this. When it comes to the black community with the children, they are even trying to lower it. Now, some people say sometimes those scores are incorrect. But I'm saying they're giving them a bare minimal score versus what they give a Caucasian. Like, they'll give them probably out of 100%, and they'll drop ours down to like 60, 70%. So they got this out of that. So they're basically, lowering the score, which to me is not a good thing.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not good, because your child is not even being counted on the maximum effort he can put in. So they're basically saying they can't do the effort that is needed. You know what I'm saying?
Like we watched Hidden Colors, and they're saying, that's okay, he tried. So we're going to go on and pass him. Even though, you know what I'm saying? It's the mentalities that are bare minimum. And some of these, our daughter was just telling us that you had the kids was praising that they got D's. Not even trying to strive for an A or B.
That's crazy.
No kind of willpower, no kind of really self-esteem. It's just like, well, I did it.
I passed.
Yay. To a D. Wow.
It's crazy, bro. There was an ass whooping when I was a kid. D can get your ass whooped. that's passing nowadays. They might buy their kids some new Xbox games or something. You know what I'm saying? You got a D, man. You did good, man. At least you're gonna pass, bro. Can't fail. You're gonna be a super senior or something.
I don't know if a lot of the parents realize that these children are the future. They're gonna be the future. So they're not using their brains and things like that. Well, what kind of future we finna have? It's just sad. Like we had to work. We had to put the work in. I was always A/B honor roll, 3.5, sometimes higher than that, in high school and college. But I actually did the work. My brother and sister, they kind of did. My brother, so they say he was paying people here and there, so just trying to get by, Oh, yeah. But that stuff it don't work for everybody. I actually put the work in.
Yeah.
I actually loved school. I actually did. But then, realized we were being told lies years later. And it kind of like, kind of is a downer.
Since we're still on education, because oh my God, this is a big field when we talk about in love with lies. When we talking about education, it's documentaries and everything on the Black Mafia. Like I cannot get off this subject without, because we're dealing with systematical racism with the educational system. So you got to look at the Black Mafia, and at one time in this country, for like 30 years, like maybe longer, you know what I'm saying? It's only off documentation. They can say like 30 plus years, like 40 years. Okay, they let these kids take a test. And all the kids that scored low on the test, they illegally sterilized the kids. That means put them in a position where they can't have any kids in the future. You know what I'm saying? But that's without the parents' consent. They sterilize children and put them in a position where they cannot have children. Like, don't you think as a parent you should know that they did that to African American children? You hear me? They have always done these type of things to us in the educational field, but we trust them so much. I think we have over enough information when it comes to education um, to not give all of our trust into public education, charter education, anything. Like I'm going to keep saying about this, that we're not going to go up there and battle them about curriculum or battle them with proven facts. Then I got to question how we really care about our kids' education, period. So we cannot keep on falling in love with these lies. Also, the SAT, them SAT tests, yeah, those are made for the Jews and the Nazis during the Holocaust. That's who they decided who they was going to exterminate. They had to take an SAT test. It was called something else with the Jewish people. But when they gave that scientist, they gave him diplomatic immunity. And he was able to come to America and help them come up with how to keep everything segregated. And he came up with the SAT test. That's a Nazi. You can Google these things. These are facts. You're just gonna hate the truth, that you're gonna fall in love with them lies. You know what I'm saying? That's a Nazi, what you would call an invention. That's a Nazi invention when we talk about the SAT scores and the SAT test. Look it up. Don't get mad at me. I know I'm messing up a lot of y'all's reality. And that's what this show is all about. I'm just trying to bring you into this real. You hear what I'm saying? And if it offends you, then that's just how it go. Okay, we're gonna get off systematic racism through education in the judicial system, because we just love to believe that we innocent till proven guilty. Nah, don't believe it. So we're gonna go into the medical in love with lies, and this is the hospitals. And I got personal stories, and you do too, about the hospital. But first of all, I'm gonna go into that. It's over 200 years of documented evidence of murder, genocide, abuse when it comes to American medical history. But we will continue to believe in anything presented to us by the medical field as if God is saying. I want a lot of you sisters, if you're watching this video, to go look up how they came up with the OBGYN. Do your study on it. Do your study of how they studied the vagina and everything. What the guy did, I can't remember his name at this moment, but it was a doctor. And he is like celebrated in this country. Every OBGYN got to learn this guy and got to pass him. And he was a complete racist. He did not like black people at all. He actually killed many of black women, tortured them, studying their womb. You know what I'm saying? This is a true story. You know what I'm saying? But we go to these OBGYNs and they're able to tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? I know we're not educated on anything. I'm not saying we should go to the hospital. I'm just saying we need to keep all of these things in mind while we're dealing with the medical field. And I'm just saying that I believe you should keep your eyes open, period. And I'm saying if you can learn anything, sometimes they done prescribe me things. I went and checked on them, found out they were bad. You know what I'm saying? It's that easy. I double check everything that they're presenting to me now, because I got enough information where I know I just cannot take the medical field's word for it, because they are not God at the end of the day. They're making an educated medical guess. That's what they're doing. I've heard them tell people that had cancer they was going to die in 3 months. People live 19 years. You know what I'm saying? The history. When I just told you about the illegal sterilization of children that scored low on tests in school, the medical field was administering those vaccines to those children when they scored low. They was the ones sterilizing. The medical field is a part of the illegal sterilization of African American children for over 40 years in this country. Okay, America has given outdated vaccines to people in countries. So these are documented facts. They have paid billions of dollars to families for maltreatment. And everybody knows these things. You done know somebody that has maltreatment from the hospital, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody knows someone, at least one person, that something bad happened dealing with the medical field. Okay? And the outdated vaccines that were given to people, documented for over 50 years in this country, and misdiagnosing people and giving them large amounts of opioids. And that's why we have an epidemic also going on with people addicted to opioids out here all over the world. It's an epidemic right now. Over 150,000 people die a year from opioid overdose. That's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And the medical field is behind this. They're on the stock market. They're a business. They got to keep people getting these pills, okay? All of this evidence, even some clinics and pharmacists have been arrested. They got federal charges. I'm talking about this is now. I'm saying I just went back in a day. I can go to Tuskegee when they gave us syphilis. The medical field gave us syphilis. You know, we know all of these things, but we'll run straight down there and get a flu shot. And if they come up with this C-19 virus vaccine, you're going to run and get this too. Because you just believe in everything. But I just told you information over 100 years. Over 100 years, I just told you. Over 100 years, but you believe the lies, even though you know it ain't true. That the medical field loves you. Okay? I can give you an example. We'll talk about our son Simeon's birth. And to me, this still leaves me with a little bit of anger in my blood. You hear what I'm saying, y'all? A little bit of anger. He was born premature. He had to be hospitalized. He was in an incubator and all of that. And we had to basically visit him like that. But they said he had a hole in his head. And they was trying to close the hole. Or was his heart?
Well, it was in both places. His brain, they were saying that was hemorrhaging, but they was able to get him healed on that. But you're talking about the contradictions in the story from Children's and yeah, they said he had a hole in his heart, and something about like he wasn't gonna make it. We heard several different stories. That experience was just it's dreadful to talk about.
They were saying at one hospital, you don't need to. We need to close the hole. Then we go to Children's Hospital. And they saying no. That would have been death. That would have been a death to him. We was like, what? What is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they almost killed our child. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, these are doctors and nurses. Like, doctors was coming in the room telling us, oh, it's nothing to worry about. You guys need to relax. Chill out, guys. It's gonna be all right. And we were telling some of our concerns. I didn't know he had a thing going on with his head and everything. They're like, oh, it's all right. It should close up after we give him a few shots of this and that. You know, salute. So we trust in them, and our child almost died. You know, and that's crazy because we had already lost the child. You know what I'm saying? Because she had twins. So I'm like, they almost put us in a position where we lost both of them. And they were trying to send us to Texas. Like, it was very strange. You know what I'm saying? I've never experienced things like this at a hospital.
Yeah, they wanted us to go to Dallas, Texas to basically do an extraction of the birth, basically like an abortion. Yeah. But the effects of that could have been, or both of them passed away.
Yeah.
You know, basically baby boy B sacrificed himself so baby boy A, which is Simeon, could survive because they were feeding off of the same, they were in two different sacks, but they had the same blood supply and all that kind of stuff. So when he passed, that pretty much brought Simeon on early at 26 weeks because they basically surviving off each other. You know, if you have twins, you know how they, works. And they were saying to go there, but they had already told us that baby boy B wasn't going to make it. It's a possibility because he had fetal hydrops.
Yeah.
And so they basically wanted us to go to Texas. And we was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically like an abortion. And I was already like 20 weeks at that time.
Then
21 weeks.
King went in the room. They were talking about, you want your children to die and all that. Like, talking real kind of reckless, man.
A little bit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is supposed to be a medical, you know what I'm saying, feel like they kind of aggressive. I thought people, like, you know what I'm saying, had an attitude like, man, this not real, real shit going on in this medical field, bro. I'm just saying, like, it's a weird case, but dealing with the history that the medical field got, you know, I just was always there, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking around. I don't know.
It was a few times I thought I was going to lose my life at the hospital when it came to childbirth. Like when I watched these stories about these black women that didn't make it, and they felt like the family felt like the hospital didn't take the black women's life serious for whatever reason. You know, I guess that's due to racism. You know, and some of these people are not on Medicaid. They are successfully or wealthy, whatever you call
like
it.
The judge.
Her daughter-in-law. And that's very heartbreaking every time I hear that. Because he was seeing all the signs, and he was calling out to the doctors, and he felt like they were not. It's not like they were in a rush to try to save her. Her life could have been saved. He's talking about how many hours, how she just bled and bled, and I think about that when with my last pregnancy with our the last baby we had, Nyla. How they were saying that. Now I was told that I could not have any vaginal birth because of, you know, a fibroid that I had. So if I would have ever had a vaginal birth, it would cause me to have my uterus would rupture. Well, the last time that I gave birth, they was talking about, well, you're bleeding so bad, it's almost like you're hemorrhaging, so we're going to go ahead and do vaginal birth. And I was telling, you know, this is before they put me to sleep or whatever. I was saying, I was told that they cannot do that. My uterus is rupture. He was saying, well, she's kind of right there. Then all of a sudden, I mean, you know, it's like I was losing so much blood. I was worried then. But then they turned and said, no, we're going to take her C-section. I'm like, well, what is going on? Like, they just flipped. Now, this is already in my file, my records, that I'm not supposed to have a vaginal birth. And they were trying to do it then. Now, that could have possibly killed me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I was losing a lot of blood. And that's why they felt like, you know, let's go do it like this. But the records say I'm not supposed to do that. And we had that. I don't want to say her name, but we had a real good doctor with our second child. And she was the one that put all that information out. Probably one of the best doctors I ever had. The rest of them don't hold a candle to her. But, you know, she ended up leaving this state. But anyway, she was the one that put that out, that I'm not supposed to have any vaginal birth because of what the fibroid was so big. I guess it left a scar on the uterus, so my uterus would rupture. And all this was... I knew this even after my second child. This is all they're supposed to already know this stuff when they're coming in and fooling with you. They was fixing to do a vaginal birth, and probably would have killed me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when it comes to us, I don't feel like they take our lives serious.
No.
I hate to say that, but I've experienced it. I've experienced these kind of things, you know, and even with the twin situation, I had dilated 10 centimeters. And I'm glad I got to the hospital when I did. We probably would have had him on the floor in his house. But it's just, I didn't feel like any compassion or anything. Like they was taking their time.
And doing the most. Most of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, I
was pretty bad off too. After that for a while.
For a while. Even when you got the spinal tap thing.
Oh my gosh. And that's with the very first child that I had. This guy was supposed to be in the hospital for 20-some years. He'd been doing this all these years. Well, but it's like I could feel it when he walked in the hospital room. I could feel his energy or something. I don't know if he was nervous or what, but I'm like, I don't know. After that happened to me, I was like, how could he do that? He's been doing this for so long. I know we make mistakes, but this is something you got to be careful with in this medical field. He went in and did me a epidural, and you know they go into your spine. Well, he ended up letting air get in. I never even heard of this until it happened to me. Well, you talking about one of the worst headaches you could ever have. It's called a spinal headache. And I learned all about this then. So they had to basically give me like blood transfusion and go back in. He said one of the doctors said, well, what has happened to you is you got a gap in between where he did it, which causes air to get in there. So that basically sends up the air and stuff all the way from your spine to your head. You're talking about, and they ended up sending me home like that. Like they gave me pain medicine and it went away, and then I come home and it was still bad. I ended up getting over it, but I never heard of that before. But you talking about the worst headache I have ever had.
Wow.
It feel like somebody is like nailing the back of your head with a hammer.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
That's great.
Yeah, they had to give me something called a caffeine drip. So they had to take, I remember them sticking me like in my hand or something and trying to put blood back in the spot where the gap was, because that's the only way they could close it. You know, my hospital, since I'm high risk, my hospital stays, like most, the average woman will probably stay in the hospital a day or two after she gives birth to a child. I have to stay anywhere from 3 to 5 days. You know what I'm saying?
I hate it too, y'all.
Yeah, I bet you do. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've had some pretty scary experiences.
Yeah.
At these hospitals, because
Yeah, like I said, I did suffer from high blood pressure. You know, I believe I've been having it pretty much under control since I done went to, common remedies, black seed oil, apple cider vinegar and things like that. Natural things that help me. I don't know if it works for everybody else. Olive leaf extract, maybe changing up some of your eating processes, maybe try to move your junk food day to one day, or you know what I'm saying, do a little bit here, make sure you eat some vegetables, do a little bit here, make sure you eat some fruit, make sure you cleanse your system out, of all the toxins that you're eating every day. That's the best thing you can do, because almost everything is bad. You know what I'm saying? Almost everything. I don't care if you talking about you vegan. It's some stuff that is not healthy. You know what I'm saying? It is because we don't grow a lot of our food, so we can't say just 100% on everything, because things come out on these organic stuff and all this every day. You know what I'm saying?
See, you from the South, boy.
But I was prescribed when I was trusting in the old faithful doctor with the white jacket on. I was trusting in it, and they gave me some blood pressure medication, like I said in another video, and I was able to prove that this was definitely detrimental to my health to take this medication that doctors prescribed. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, man. Like, I had to look and read that, and they had me on it for like 2 years. I'm glad I was able to. I'm one of the people that just don't believe everything the doctor is saying. I actually looked up the medication, and it was clear as day that it causes so much issues. It was dangerous.
And they want you to keep going back to get.
Yeah, because they wanted me to keep coming back and getting the refills on. I'm talking about this stuff was going to be killing me. They say it can cause cancer and all kinds of stuff. But they was giving it to me and wanted me to take it for years, but I never would take everything in 1 year. It's kind of spurts. Sometimes it should expire, and then I probably take 1 or 2 then. Like,
did it make you feel some type of way when you took them? Like, did you have any kind of side effects?
Well,
like
they gave me some stronger ones the last time I had one. Now those would make me kind of like, want to like sit down, I believe.
Were you like dizzy or something?
No, but it was a fake, like you kind of got a little drowsy. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't something that lasted long. It'll be probably like 5 to 10 minutes. It'll be gone. But it's just the fact that a doctor prescribed. You know what I'm saying? And we always think that they got our best, situation at heart. But I'm living proof that is not true. I don't believe it. And history has proven that. So I don't have to go back and forth with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because history speaks for itself. So if you want to trust the medical field and then something goes wrong and you didn't pay attention to the signs that I'm giving you and the experiences that we had, you can find yourself like in a kind of a bad situation where you kind of like, I should have paid attention. And I don't want anybody to end up like that. So I'm saying every time I got to go to the hospital, I have to pay attention to something. You know what I'm saying? So we're going into our last one, and that is one question I have for religion. And I'm going to be all serious when I go at this question, because I want you to understand me. I'm saying when we on this subject about religion and spirituality, we talking about God. So I want everybody to understand me. We're talking about God. Now, you love God. You say you believe in God. God is the Most High. I think you need to listen to what I'm trying to say. We all know the story of Jesus. We all know the Old Testament. We all know the Holy Quran, and the Hindu gods and Buddha, whatever you guys believe in. Please, I'm asking the question because I'm talking about God. Okay, so if a man that you call God can walk on water, make the blind see, raise somebody from the dead. Okay? Wipe out a whole city, Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. Because of the ills and the crime that infested the place, the adultery. He wiped everybody out. He blessed Noah with the strength to build a big boat to put 2 of each animal on and destroyed the planet. He let Noah, his family, restart the earth again with the animals. Okay? He was able to make Eve out of Adam's rib. Okay? This man helped David beat Goliath, a giant. This man fed a village with a fish and 2 breads. This man can heal. This man turned water to wine. This man has made the planet God. Every living organism on it, everybody. God has put it here. So I'm saying, how did God get minimized so that he can't beat a virus?
Hot dog.
Somebody has to explain that to me. What's your belief and what you think God can do? Because I got to question that. And I've got to come at you like this because I've been hearing so much over the years of how everybody believes in God and how I need to go to church because church is where the God is at. Church going to bring you back. It's going to bring you to the Lord. You dipped in the blood of the Lamb. Yeah. But then I look around in the same church you're telling me I need to go to, the same religious facilities y'all telling me I need to go to is closed. Explain to me how does that represent God when you tell me that this is a house of God, but it cannot beat a virus. All the miraculous things that God has done for the planet, it comes to a virus and he cannot beat it. If I'm baptized, blessed in the holy blood of the Lamb, or I'm a chakra and all of these kind of things that y'all religious people say, spiritual people as well. If I got all of this protection, I got all the ancestors around me, I got all of this protection, I got angels camped over me, but a virus is all that it takes. You say, oh, I don't want nobody touching me. Where you God at?
Yeah.
Where you God at? I got to start questioning people because maybe you in love with a lie. Maybe you don't believe in something because I'm not scared like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I believe in God. Okay? But I'm looking at other people who say they believe in their Lord and all of this, and y'all shook. So explain to me what God can't defeat, and you guys think that it's a virus. Makes everybody back away from church. I thought God heals. God protects his anointed. I don't see that with the reaction that I'm getting from religious people. I assume you guys do not believe in God. I think you guys are playing with people's emotion. I'm going based on your actions since you say God is magnificent, the Alpha and the Omega. He can do anything, okay? But I'm saying you're going to cancel church? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that.
I don't know about that. We done dealt with the HIV breakout in the late 80s, early 90s. We done dealt with, listen, white folks used to bomb churches. That didn't even stop me. Boy, what? That ain't stop no black folks from praising no Lord. Boy, what you talking about? They can literally go to church and blow up in there. The Klan to put a bomb in the church. Blew up several churches in the southern area. Alabama and things like that. So I'm like, all of this is going on, and they still went to church. During civil rights movement, some people that get pulled out of church, get beaten, hung. They still went to church. Okay? The flu epidemic, they still went to church. Even during days of captivity, black people still went to church. Now, virus. Nobody wants to go to church. Oh, no, we can't do it. Now they saying the state saying they can't do it. Boy, if y'all believed in my God, no one can stop me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna praise our God. You know what I'm saying? But these people are like, no, we can't be around each other. Joel Osteen, all of them, boy. Woo. They said them pockets getting thin now. They ain't calling on the Lord. You know what they doing? Going to the government, said they need a bailout. Yeah.
Asking for more money.
Asking for money. And they already a tax-free non-profit organization. They tax-free. They ain't got to pay no tax. How the hell you need money? And most of y'all some millionaires standing up there begging to my old man. We having a hurt since everybody out for this because of this virus. Oh, we need y'all to bail us out like y'all sending everybody else them stimulus checks. We need us a check too. The pastor need us a check to keep our congregation and everybody happy. Boy, come on now. Y'all in love with them lies, boy. Y'all in love with them lies. And what we have proved in this segment, that we structured the whole truth and the whole reality around how you are in love with lies, and we presented the facts, the cases, and please look up any other stuff I put out on this video. If you think I'm lying about anything, come on with it. I'm definitely with showing facts, bibliography, anything, because all of that is true. We just presented on how people are in love with them lies. They can't shake them. So this your boy King Haru. This is my most beautiful wife,
Nita Buns.
All right, and this is another reality check about being in love with them lies, baby. Subscribe, okay?
Hey.
Like, hold on, subscribe. Here we go. Subscribe, like, you know what I'm saying? Share, do whatever. You know, we just bring these real conversations in because there's a lot of nonsense going on in the world. A lot of things that people are agreeing with that absolutely makes no sense. That's why we do these kind of shows. So we always keep that little dose of reality up in your life, man. You need that reality up in your life. All right, so we'll get at y'all later next video. Reality check. Peace out.